Hello, everyone. David and Richard here. It's Friday.
That's
Another
right.
Ask the Broker show. Today, I wanted to ask you, David. I hear this all the time, and I'm sure you do too. There's going to be lots of foreclosures coming, real soon.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Do you think that's true?
Well, to help answer that question, there's an article written on Keeping Current Matters, which is a housing website and blog. So let's see what Keeping Current Matters had to say. They really made three strong points in this article, and let's just go through them. So the first one is they're talking about how there's not going to be as many foreclosures as there was in the last housing crash, after 2008, 9, and 10. The first reason is there's simply not as many homeowners that are in trouble or facing foreclosure. The lenders learned a lot about how to properly revise their guidelines and qualify buyers. So the revised lending standards simply led to more qualified buyers, and there are just fewer homeowners that are in trouble or behind or facing trouble with making their payments as there was back then.
So that means we got rid of the loan, yes, you qualify?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So a second reason, Richard, the second reason that they mentioned in the article is there's been fewer foreclosures the last couple of years than during 2008. So what do they have to say about that?
Yeah, and you'll see on the chart that's going to come up on the screen that, back when the bad thing happened, you had 2 million foreclosures. Now in the last, up until third quarter of this year, we've only had, 88,000. That's quite a big difference. So less foreclosures means less problems, and the foreclosures just aren't going to be out there like people think they are.
Yeah, the number we saw is, far below, as you can see on the graph again, it's far below the number we saw during the market crash.
Yeah.
So, don't let the news headlines scare you or frighten you in any sort of other way. The fact of the matter is we're always going to see foreclosures on average, dating back into the 1970s when they started tracking this data. On average, there's a couple hundred thousand foreclosures each and every year in the United States. So it's not that they're not going to happen. People get divorced or lose their jobs, but will it be abnormal like it was after the crash? And we don't think so. So point number 3 in the article says most homeowners have more equity in their homes. So if they were to get in a tight spot, they could sell the home prior to even it going into foreclosure.
Right. Even if you can't make your payment, wouldn't you call a realtor and sell your home if you're going to put $75,000 in your pocket versus last time that happened, we went short, so you were minus 50 to 100,000. You walked away.
Yeah.
Now, if you walked away, you're walking away from money in your pocket.
So I do want to mention a quote in the article here that comes from Adam Data. They say only about 214,800 homeowners were facing possible foreclosure in the second quarter of 2022. Or just 0.4% of the 58.2 million outstanding mortgages in the U.S. Of the 214,000, 195,000 of those have equity in their homes. So
that leaves very little for foreclosures. And on top of that, banks are working with these people to either help them maybe short sell it or to refinance the home for them and keep them in the home. So all those things equal versus 10, 12 years ago, way, way, way less foreclosures.
The fact of the matter is we are going to see headlines in the newspaper saying there's going to be more foreclosures or foreclosures jump 25%, 50%, whatever the number is. We're going to see higher foreclosures just because there hasn't been any for the last couple of years.
Yeah, 25% of zero is still pretty low. Huh?
Yeah, so the headlines will try to scare the public. But remember, there's some good data out here that shows we're not going to see the same foreclosure numbers that we did after the housing crash of 2008. So with that, hopefully that helps
relieve your fears.
Relieve the fears, that's right. But we thank you guys for watching the Ask the Broker show this Friday. We'll see you on our next one.